Okay, this is my final one, I promise myself and you. I assessed the Asian American community. We are an extremely diverse group. Um, Economically, China and Japan are like two and four in the world, and then there's like Cambodia and Laos. Um, I don't know their ranking, but I know Vietnam is like 30 something. So economical backgrounds are very diverse. Politically diverse, culturally, religiously, religion is extremely diverse. So it's just a very diverse group, but they're all lumped into the convenient title of Asian Americans. Um, so some strengths are that traditional family values provide specifically social and economic support, like lifelong support. I hang out with my cousins. My sister and I still talk a lot. My family in Asia, they hang out a lot. There's a lot of kind of like informal support in terms of it's almost like college counseling, helping them with like moves, resources, car like transportation, babysitting. It's all very normal. These are all like very normal things that Asian Americans do. And then there's also kind of a cultural emphasis on education, which leads to higher educational outcomes and um, kind of whatever type of money money that comes along with that. So the challenges are there's a lot of micro. I think it starts with the misunderstanding of the culture and and the diversity too. And so the start of that leads to kind of internalized oppression, uh, having two different identities. And then there's also a lot of assimilation into the culture instead of like being proud of our culture. Um, and I think part of that's like, men are viewed as diminutive, easy. So, but in reality, that being quiet is a show of respect in our culture. So that in turns, but that assumption of weakness leads to lower professional outcomes. So there's kind of a system-wide oppression that occurs there too. Um, so the lack of understanding of the culture also leads to lower utilization of social services, which can have negative outcomes such as suicide and domestic violence, um, as well as very little study and political involvement with of Asians. So both the lack of research and the lack of political involvement and the lack of political action geared towards the group in general can have also has so those are definitely some challenges. My own assessment skills, I wouldn't equate a lot of what I learned and report will be reporting in my paper to myself. I talked to a lot of several individuals. My sister works in politics. I have a friend kind of advocating for LGBT Asian Pacific Islander youth. So they gave me a lot of great insight, and I also got a lot of insight from my cousin who works in kind of the dominant cultures arena, professional arena, and so I got a lot of stuff from them. I guess I take notes well. I don't know, but I definitely enjoy this. I'm gonna speed up. Enjoy the project. Um, so I think an important thing I mentioned earlier that it's just like our community is very misrepresented and misunderstood. So and that leads me kind of to like the last point and what kind of intervention would I have? And I think it's a little twofold. So my conclusion of my research and my preparation and kind of putting this all together is that our strengths of our family value and educational strengths are also an inhibiting factor for our culture and our people. The education emphasis leads to kind of a very limiting um, professional like options for our culture. Um, and I think that also leads to a lot of like just a kind of a I don't know the word for it, but like kind of like stopping expression, stopping creativity, stopping individuality. Um, and also the family values prevent things such as like proper mental health care, proper utilization of social services. So I think it's twofold. I think I ended up with a critique of my of Asian American culture itself, but also how the dominant culture views our culture and the negative outcomes that comes from that. So it's almost like there's strengths, but the weaknesses are there, and then they become compounded with kind of a new layer of problems. Um, so that's where I'm at. Thank you for watching.